to get your fix.
Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready to get your fix?
With the Wicks here on this beautiful Friday, April 8th, 2022, and welcome to the show, whether that's on Facebook or on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, hit the like and the share. If you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe. It would be much, much appreciated. So we've had kind of a slow week of information surrounding the National Football League, but things are starting to pick up a little bit. You know, we had Brandon Cooks yesterday sign a 2-year deal. We'll get to that detail or the details of his contract. We'll also get John's thoughts on potential flag football being a part of the Olympics. Yeah, that's right. As well as talking about these wide receiver contracts that just keep coming out and what does that mean for other up-and-coming receivers that are, their contracts expiring. Basically, this year, Terry McLaurin's one of them. Cooper Kupp should be getting paid. Deebo Samuel, he pulled an interesting stunt just the other day, so we'll dive into that as well. DK Metcalf also needs to get paid. Who knows if he stays on the Seattle Seahawks? Sounds like he might be on his way out. That could come during draft night, obviously, with teams looking to move up in the draft, trying to get what they think would be a cornerstone to their franchise. And it'll be an exciting time, but there's a lot of receivers that are contract extension eligible or ready to, get paid, basically. And with all these, Devontae Adams getting his money, getting Tyreek getting his money, Brandon Cooks getting his money, I mean, the market's just gonna continue to grow, and we'll dive into that as well. So with that being said, are you ready to get your fix? So yesterday we finished the show off with talking about Brandon Cooks and his recent contract extension with the Houston Texans. At the time, it was only said to be a 2-year deal. Later in the evening, I believe, or early this morning, the contract details actually came out, and he is getting a 2-year, $39.6 million deal. He gets $36 million guaranteed. Now, last year, and I believe maybe some of this year, there was rumblings of him potentially going to the Green Bay Packers before the trade deadline because they needed an extra weapon. Now, that would have been a pretty good piece for the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
He's a very good receiver. He's really reliable.
Yep.
He's not a guy that's, he doesn't stand out at all. But when he's on
the Texans.
Exactly. That's another thing. But I feel like also being on the Texans, being that number one receiver, replacing technically DeAndre Hopkins, you'd think he'd gain a little bit more. How do you want to say it? Fandom, or like a little bit more. I don't know how you want to say that, but
Davis Mills and Tyrod throwing to you.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Tyrod. Love him. Great backup quarterback.
Yeah, great backup quarterback. He has potential to be a starter, maybe, but it's like only for a couple games. Like he's not the greatest. But Brandon Cooks gets a major payday. If this weren't to happen, which I'd expect that this was going to happen in the first place, but would you have liked to see Brandon Cooks on the Green Bay Packers? You just mentioned that. What do you think that would have brought to your offense last year? Do you think that would have helped you get over that hump in the NFC Championship game, or do you think...
No, I mean, anything would have helped, but what would have helped us get to the NFC, or get to the Super Bowl would have been special teams.
Right.
And it actually being addressed when it was obvious that it was a problem in Week 8.
The whole year.
Yeah.
The whole year.
And it just went totally ignored, which is... one of...
We got Aaron Rodgers, we'll be fine.
Yep, it's one of LaFleur's flaws that he had this season. And didn't address the special teams, and that's what bit us in the ass. Obviously he would have helped, because just bringing a guy like that in, and I think that he's better than MVS.
Think he's better than Lazard?
Yeah. Like, both of... Actually, he'd probably be the number 2 guy.
Yeah, especially over Randall Cobb. It'd be tough with the Randall Cobb situation just because of the chemistry that Cobb and Aaron has. But definitely probably would have been that number 2 guy because I think
Adams leaves, then he moves into the number 1 spot, and Rodgers helps him
flourish basically, like brings him back into relevancy basically. But I mean, Brandon Cooks, he deserves to get paid, and for signing a 2-year deal, I think it's very smart on his part. Just because, we see these receivers or have seen these receivers over the past couple weeks now sign like 4-year deals, 5-year deals, getting these big contracts where Brandon Cooks says, hey, let me just sign this, quick little 2-year deal. And when 2 years comes up, we can sign an even bigger deal. We can get even more money. That is what Brandon Cooks, I feel like, is kind of did. I think he did the right thing, basically signing a 2-year deal for only $39 million. I mean, basically all of it's guaranteed, $36 million of it. So he did a pretty solid job on that front. Plus, it's the Houston Texans. You're not going to expect much from that franchise. You're not going to expect him to go out there and start, winning Super Bowls in the next 2 years. It's just, I mean, it could happen. But in the world we live in, okay, that's just not going to happen. The Bengals, I think, were really, really lucky, really fortunate to have a Jamar Chase, to have a Joe Burrow on that offense. Their defense was flying around with Trey Hendrickson. But in the end, that offensive line really screwed him. And we've seen that, especially when you play a Von Miller and a Aaron Donald on one side of the football. It's tough to win those big games when you don't have an offensive line that can't do shit. So obviously, Brandon Cooks getting locked up in Houston is a good idea for him long term to make more money and to potentially go seek out other locations of where he might want to go play. Maybe he goes to where he's from. I'm not sure where that is, but it's a very real possibility. So congrats to Brandon Cooks on signing a 2-year deal, $39.6 million. 36 of that is guaranteed. Another face that I kind of expected to stay a Denver Bronco, being that the Denver Broncos, well, they don't have any depth at the running back position. But Melvin Gordon, currently I believe he's a free agent, is in discussions with the Baltimore Ravens.
Ooh.
And they might make a deal. You say, ooh, what are your initial thoughts on that situation?
That'd be a sick spot for Melvin Gordon.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be a scary rush offense.
It would, because I think you can utilize them in so many different aspects of that offense. And last year we seen them obviously lose their top 3 running backs. Okay, Gus Edwards ends up getting hurt. I would still like to see some more production out of him, see what he has in store. J.K. Dobbins is another guy. They're both really young, and Justice Hill is still really young. So they have young running backs, but when you bring in a guy like Melvin Gordon, you know what you're going to get. And he could exceed expectations, obviously, because he's been in the NFL for so long. He just hasn't, had the right opportunity. I mean, he was with the Los Angeles Chargers. He decides to sit out on his own accord because he's like, I want my money. Austin Eckler says, okay, I'll just take your job then. That's what happened. He's like, oh shit, I better come back in here. When he comes back in there, well, he goes to Denver and has been their number 1 running back. But it seems as if, who is Denver's? Javonte Williams. I mean,
gonna be a beast.
Yes,
trust me,
100%. I think he's gonna take over that number 1 role for the Denver Broncos. But Melvin Gordon going to the Ravens, I like it because I feel like then at that time the Ravens can say, okay, Gus Edwards, Justice Hill, J.K. Dobbins, we can potentially probably trade 2 of these people. We just have a 1-2 punch with maybe it's Gus Edwards and Melvin, but they're looking to get a deal done from what has been reported. But nothing is imminent at this point in time. I think they're just having discussions like, hey, I would like to play here. Let's work out the contract, and if we, hit a number that we both agree upon, then I'll be a Baltimore Raven. So
that'd be sick.
Yeah, I would like that a lot. I mean, they were tied to. They made a last-minute push, I believe, for who was that fucker? I want to say Von Miller. No, Bobby Wagner. They made a last-minute push because we talked about how it would look like that Ray Lewis type defense there for the Baltimore Ravens, and they know what it takes to get to the playoffs. They have a playoff-ready team. It's just, can they perform consistently throughout the season? I think that's a big question mark that they have because Lamar Jackson, he's incredible at what he does, but I feel like that almost limits their offense a little bit because, the game is going towards a mobile quarterback, towards a mobile quarterback, but for some odd reason, I feel like that just limits the offense because if you're a mobile quarterback and you go out there, you're capable of passing the ball just fine. But when nothing's open, it makes you just automatically, okay, I'm going to go scramble, I'm going to try to get these yards and do all this and that, when sometimes it's going to help massively, but other times it's not going to help. So I think that might be holding him back just a tad, but Lamar can definitely prove me wrong on that whole.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he doesn't really turn the ball over that much, so
That's another plus side to that, I feel like.
I mean, if that was a thing, like kind of like with RG3, he didn't throw very many picks, but when he'd scramble, he would
Fumble.
He wouldn't know to go down, and he'd end up fumbling a lot. But with Lamar, I think that he's really smart with the ball, and he knows how to take care of the ball. And it was just a rough season for the Ravens this year with all the injuries. It was just start from
Quite unfortunate.
or right from the get-go. It was just a rough season.
Yeah, and Lamar is really smart too, because I think his first year, 2 years ago, I believe it was, there was questions around, hey, he needs to fucking slide, otherwise he's gonna get murdered out there. Like he needs to figure out how to slide. I think he hired a base running coach from baseball or something like that to work on it. And I think that kind of resulted in less turnovers with the football and barely any interceptions. That's one thing that everybody questioned about him. Is he an actual quarterback coming into the draft? I'd say so. Okay, I mean, just look what he's done. He's already won an MVP. He's won a playoff game. He's been to multiple playoffs. Now he just has to get over that playoff hump where it's like, okay, we won one. We got to go win more than that. Let's get to that Super Bowl where we should be. I think he'll definitely. I don't know. This is a good question. Do you think Lamar Jackson ever wins the Super Bowl? And how long do you think it takes him to win one if he does win one?
I think if he stays with the Ravens, yes. But if he leaves the Ravens, no.
So what if he goes? I guess it's kind of hard to say because you never know what the teams would look like.
Because the Ravens are the one team that took the chance on him, and then totally just went all in on him.
Right.
And it worked. Going from Joe Flacco to Lamar Jackson. Like they took a lot of heat at first.
Yeah, because they were going from
They're
a
like,
pocket
"What are you
passer to a
doing?"
mobile quarterback.
And also because Joe Flacco is a former Super Bowl MVP, and
Right.
it's like, what are you doing? That's our guy. And they're like, no.
No, this is
our guy. And at first they took a lot of heat, but they believed in Lamar Jackson more than anybody else did. Other people were telling them you should switch to wide receiver, and the Ravens gave him that chance, and Harbaugh and
They believed
Lamar.
him.
I hope that he does get signed because, if he doesn't, I don't think that anybody else will bond with him, and he'll have that trust in the coach the same way that he does with the Ravens.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right on that because, like you said, they're the team that ultimately took the chance on him, said, no, he's going to be a quarterback. He's not going to switch to wide receiver. We're not even going to ask that of him because that would be just kind of blasphemy.
Let's say you send him to somewhere else, and the first thing that the coach starts talking about is, we kind of need you to stay in the pocket. And it's a new offense where they're not using all of his talents and kind of trying to change his game, where the Ravens embrace his game and figure out a way to make the offense work.
Yeah, and if you change his game too, that almost
he needs more weapons.
Oh yeah. That's another thing I was going to ask you too. Is do you think they've done a good job in getting him weapons, or do you think they need to do a little bit better? Because they got Rashad Bateman in last year's draft. He looked like he was starting to do something good. Sammy Watkins is still over there. Marquise Hollywood Brown. I mean, he's okay, not the greatest thing in the world. I don't think he's a legit number one. I think he's a number two guy, just because of his size, and that's just how I look at it. That's my opinion, but
Steve Smith would have something to say about that.
Well, Steve Smith was also a different breed. I mean,
he's crazy. He
was yoked. He was ready to rock and roll. He just believed in himself and spoke it, and wasn't afraid to say anything about it. But if you're the Ravens, what do you look at going into this draft or into any offseason to give Lamar those weapons? Do you look at your defense first? Do you give him these weapons? And what kind of weapons would you give him, basically?
I'd try getting him a guy like DK, if I could. If that was on the market. Guy like that. Or looking to draft a bigger guy, reliable hands. You got Mark Andrews. You'll have your running backs back this year. And if they land Melvin Gordon, that'll help so much.
Yeah.
And then maybe a offensive lineman just to
help.
Have that in there.
Help the run game a little bit out. Yeah, because I think also if they sign Melvin Gordon, that would I think, take pressure off of Lamar Jackson, because then he doesn't always have to scramble. And I know that's what we like to see, is him going out there making these crazy plays, putting defenders on skates and stuff, but we got to keep him healthy.
2 seasons ago, they had the number 1 rush offense in the league.
Yeah, well, because of Lamar.
Yeah, and because they had backs.
Oh, yeah.
Last year,
Was it Mark Ingram?
yeah, they had Mark Ingram, and J.K. Dobbins was getting hot.
Yeah, that's right, towards the end of the season.
And this year, just terrible off season.
Yeah.
Start the season off, and it's a circus trying to figure out who's the most reliable guy to put back there. They were going through running backs like crazy for a while.
Yeah, they have been. And they have massive depth, too, at the running back
Yeah.
position. Like, they want to find that guy, but it's been so tough.
So
I think it's been tough for them to find a running back since Ray Rice, honestly.
yeah,
Like, I don't remember, like, a staple running back that they've had since then.
no, he was gonna be good.
He was going to be real good, but
Yeah,
unfortunate situations.
I think they'll be a lot better this year.
I think
as
so,
long
too.
as they come in healthy.
Playoff team?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to
Sure.
stay healthy. I think that's
That's
definitely a
right.
key to every or every team's success, basically.
If they can land Melvin Gordon, for sure playoff team. I think.
You think if they land Melvin Gordon, that maybe opens the door for other free agents to say, okay, maybe I want to play for them.
Yeah, possibly like a DK.
Right, yeah, their defense is so fucking... Marcus Williams, Marcus Peters, Marlon Humphrey. There's another dude that's over there that's just ridiculous.
I think DK Bateman and Hollywood Brown. That'd be kind of dope.
I would like to see that. DK over there. 'Cause you wouldn't... Julio, I don't think would work out over there. Just because I think he's towards the end of his career. I think he needs to go to a veteran.
DK's like 23 or 24.
Yeah, he's young.
Yeah.
Hasn't even his
And
prime.
he would fit in that Ravens culture.
Yeah, he would. I definitely do believe that. That would be, I could just see it. Him number 1, Bateman number 2, maybe Marquise number 2, and then Bateman number 3. They'd have,
He's that slot.
yeah, slot.
Mark Andrews. And if they got Melvin too, oh my God.
That would be, definitely a playoff team at that
If
point.
I was the Ravens GM, I'd be like, let's get DK and Melvin. We should be pretty set this year. And then go on the draft. Might have to trade a pick or 2 for DK.
You'd probably have to, yeah. I think if we see that trade, like I mentioned earlier, it'd probably end up being draft night. Just because I think we're going to see teams want to move up to try to get what they can.
To the Baltimore Ravens for a first round draft pick.
We said it here. So if it happens,
If it happens.
we've done that before, The whole Doug Peterson situation.
Doug Peterson.
We know what we're talking about some of the time, most of the time, maybe every time.
Half the time.
Yeah, sometimes. But yeah, Melvin Gordon in discussions with the Ravens, like we've noted, I think that's a very, very good start to potentially building back up to a playoff team, maybe a Super Bowl ready team at the same time. So we talked about Brandon Cooks. Deebo Samuel obviously is next up in line to sign a contract. Well, yesterday he decided to go delete over 80 photos related to basically all images of the team from his social media accounts. And we've seen this offseason with Kyler Murray as well. Since then, he has, I think, added them back and put his pictures back up, and still hasn't got his contract, which we don't know what the hell that was. Maybe it was just to kind of keep him in the news, kind of keep his name in other people's mouths or whatnot. But I don't know the whole story of this situation. But Deebo, it seems kind of interesting why he would do something like this. And instantly, my first thought is, oh, okay, he wants to get paid.
Yeah. He wants to get paid, and this is a new strategy that has been being used because I feel like you can't get in trouble for it.
Yeah, you can't get fined.
You can't get in trouble for it, but it's a way of saying, hey, I don't like it. I don't like what's going on here. But you're not actually saying that, so like if they want to try punishing you or something, you're like, I just deleted the pictures off my Instagram, I'm sorry.
And he unfollowed the team, though.
So?
Exactly.
So, like, I just didn't want to see it.
But it makes that front office almost like panic. Like,
Yeah,
fuck.
so like, what's the deal? What you talking about?
I got no deal. But you better have a deal ready for me.
I've been texting Aaron Rodgers though.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna,
I love that.
Debo on Green Bay.
My God.
that'd be a game changer.
Oh, I'd be so happy.
He's so young too. Oh man,
I'll be pumped.
that'd be a splash signing for the Green Bay Packers.
Love that. So all of a sudden, like you see Debo and Rodgers playing catch.
Well, Rodgers' team was the 49ers when he was a little kid. So he's probably over there. He needs somebody to throw to. Very real potential right there.
I mean, if I'm Debo, do I want Trey Lance or Jimmy throwing to me, or do I want Rodgers throwing to me?
Right, Rodgers.
Yeah, but
Definitely
do I live in
Rodgers.
Cali or Green Bay.
Cali. Definitely Cali. You'd want to live. But, I say the money thing because I think it's very apparent. We've seen many receivers this offseason get massive paydays. Stephon Diggs, he had $70 million guaranteed on a $96 million contract. Devontae Adams got $67.5 million guaranteed on a $141 million contract. Christian Kirk got $37 million guaranteed on a $72 million contract. Tyreek Hill, $72.2 million guaranteed on a $120 million contract. And then obviously we talked about Brandon Cooks getting $36 million guaranteed. So Deebo Samuel's sitting there on the final year, going into his final year of his contract, saying, "Where's my money?"
Yeah, because without me, we don't make playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no.
Give me a raise.
He deserves a raise. He was literally the heart and soul of that team. Literally. They have Jimmy G. Cool. The dude threw fucking 9 passes in the playoffs 2 years ago. So, does that really help out his situation? No, not really. And then you got Trent Williams, who I couldn't fucking remember his name just a couple weeks ago. But he's getting up there in age. Okay, it's inevitable. He's going to end up retiring soon. He's going to start to decrease in production and whatnot. So the Niners were really led by Deebo Samuel. He was the only one after the game that really sat on the bench with the towel over his head and just kind of cried and kind of watched the whole thing go out. He cares, and he wants to get a big payday. And he's projected, these receivers, they're due for big paydays. Deebo Samuel is his projected new contract would put him in the $20 to $25 million range, which I think is maybe a little low, maybe, but at the same time, he's only been in the league for 4 years at this point, so I think you can expect it to be that low, but at the same time, I think 28, 29 guaranteed, I feel like that would be, especially if you want to keep him on the Niners for a long period of time, you want to keep him happy, you want to show, hey, you are our guy, okay, we're going to invest in you, we got you Trey Lance here, he's going to hopefully be the same guy that we invest in, like we're investing in you. But yeah, $25 million, I think that'd be...
Yeah, traditionally, slot-sized wide receivers don't get as big as checks.
Yeah.
So that's why it was really rare to see like a guy like Tyreek Hill get that much money. And now, inflation is real, folks. And these players want their money. They're just either going to have to up the salary cap a lot, or...
Well, if you think about it, if COVID didn't hit, the salary cap right now would probably be in the 220 range, $220 million.
Because these players want their money now.
Oh, yeah. And they're going to get it, one way or another.
Yeah.
So they don't care. If it's going to hurt the team, all right, I want my money. Okay, I've given you everything I've had, basically.
Maybe The Rock can pay some of these guys in
the XFL. They got a brand new logo. The XFL got a brand new logo.
I like the old one better.
Really?
I thought it looked more like a league. Like it's too
simple. It's too simple now.
It's a minimalist era that we're in.
Yeah.
Modern is plain.
Plain and simple. Easy. Doesn't really appeal to the eye as much as the old one, I think.
I think it just appeals to more eyes.
The simple one? Or like the other one?
Just like in general. Modern era, we're going into more simple logos. Not as flashy as he used to be, and I think it's just
we want
trying
to
get more people,
to
like be interested in this versus just this group of people that would be interested.
That makes sense. It definitely makes sense. And then you got the USFL too. I'm pumped for that. For some odd reason, I'm so pumped for it because it doesn't seem Like it, for some odd, it just gives me that feeling like it's gonna be higher quality than the XFL. But at the same time, I really don't know what to expect because these guys, I mean, they're not at the NFL level. Like they have the potential to be like a PJ Walker, but at the same time, it's like these guys are.
PJ goes back to the XFL, dude.
I would if I'm him.
Me too.
I definitely maybe the USFL test that out for this year because the XFL doesn't come back till next year.
Oh, I'd stay in the NFL this year then.
You think so?
If I was planning on going back when it opens up,
Houston
I'd be
Rockets.
like, stay on the NFL team. It's the best training you're gonna get.
Yeah. Because that's where he was. He was in the NFL. He was behind.
Andrew Luck.
Yeah, he was behind Andrew Luck for quite some time.
I mean, practice squad.
Well, yeah, but still. Yeah. I mean, you get those reps and you get that. You learn from that human's brain, basically, like how
That type
smart.
of staff.
Right.
Yeah.
Just a smart staff, smart human being in Andrew Luck. But yeah, the XFL is gonna be fun. I'm excited. But other wide receivers that are going to potentially be ready for some big paydays, obviously DK Metcalf, who knows if he stays on the Seattle Seahawks. He's projected to get anywhere from 20 to 28 million. Cooper Kupp, coming off an incredible season, if I say so myself, damn near broke Calvin Johnson's receiving record. Still couldn't do it in 17 games, so that's
I think he did.
Did he? I think he was
I think
short.
He either broke the touchdown one, because...
No, I think he broke. It wasn't the yards because I think he needed like 120 some yards the last game.
Might have.
I think he was just short by like a couple yards or something like that.
Yeah, because 1 and 2 is Calvin.
Yeah. Calvin Johnson. That just shows you how of an elite receiver Calvin Johnson was. I mean, Megatron. The dude was ridiculous. What do we got here, huh? Can't find it?
No, it just brought up last season.
Oh. Yeah, but he's projected to get about a $25 to $30 million new contract per year, basically. So, and he definitely deserves it. It was between him and Robert Woods. Who's going to be the legit number one guy? A lot of people said it was Robert Woods. Well, he leaves the Rams. He's now a Tennessee Titan. So now it's for sure the Cooper Kupp show over there in Los Angeles, and it was phenomenal to watch last season. He had, what was the stat?
It was like 16 yards away from Calvin.
Yeah, it was really close.
That's wild.
But he just couldn't get it done in 17 games, so he's due for a big payday. Terry McLaurin is also a very interesting one, because being on the Commanders, I don't think anybody, I mean, you're kind of stuck there if you're on a current contract, but nobody really wants to go be a Commander.
I wouldn't.
No, me neither.
Fuck that.
You're just in a whole bunch of
The
shit.
team's a joke.
Alex Smith even said something the other day. He said, he was like, it was just so like, it was just too many distractions. Like you really had no room to succeed, like at all. It was just too much outside noise that, okay, I'm here, I'm trying to play this game, but like, okay, our owner, our office or whatever, fucking, they're terrible. Like they cause a major distraction, and then you got their medical staff. Just from what I've heard, doesn't seem so. Like, no,
Yeah.
because Alex Smith, he got his a staph infection. There was a guy before him that had the same thing. Went to the same hospital, got the same staph infection. Yeah. So something's just not right there. They got fucking pipe bursting in the stadium. They got railings falling down,
Probably
damn near ending crews.
roaches.
Yeah, probably everything. Like this, I mean, it's
Fucking mice. Ugh.
just run down.
Tear it down. Let's get an expansion team. St. Louis.
St. Louis
something.
Commanders. No, you'd have to change it. You'd have to change it. You couldn't take the XFL's Battlehawks. I wonder what they would be. The St. Louis Archers? No, can't do that.
I don't know.
It would be tough. They'd figure it out, obviously. But Terry McLaurin, he's due for a contract. But at the same time, something tells me he could be on his way out of Washington. Come to Green Bay, huh?
Yeah. Go right ahead.
Young, poised, ready to rock and roll. Dude makes unbelievable catches. Really hasn't had a superstar quarterback.
Yeah, let's get Debo and McLaurin.
Now you're just wishing too much.
Ooh, that would be pretty.
That would look very pretty. That would. Could you imagine?
Oh,
Rogers is like, yeah, I don't need you, Adams.
told you.
Got these two.
Do it without you.
Yeah, don't. But
I'd still fuck it up.
he's projected to get about $20 to $27 million in his next contract. Other receivers as well are supposed to get big paydays, but we don't need to read them all off. So, the other day, here's some interesting news, you know. The NFL obviously has been trying to market the organization overseas with the international home markets where teams have different locations around the world where they can go and market basically themselves and kind of bring our game overseas. So we have a game now currently, the first time ever in Munich, Germany. The next game, I believe, will be in Frankfurt, Germany, but we also have a game in London this year. So 2 games overseas. It's going to be massively exciting to witness and to watch. Mexico City, I believe, is also having a game as well in the Azteca Stadium. But the NFL doesn't want to stop there. They're trying to grow the game worldwide, basically. So what is that? Where do they start? Well, you can't have a relocation team. You can't bring a team or have a league, a new team set up overseas because, I mean, the jet lag, the time zones, it just wouldn't add up. It just wouldn't be... It wouldn't be practical at all. So the NFL had a little idea, and I kind of liked it. They proposed that flag football be a part of the 2028 Summer Olympics, which are being hosted in Los Angeles this year. Now I like that. For right off first sight, I was like, okay, yeah, like that would be fucking awesome to witness.
You know, being an assistant flag football coach, of course I'm all for it. You know, these kids, you know, maybe your goal isn't to go to the NFL. Maybe you want to master something where you can just use your agility if you're an undersized kid. Let's say you're 5'5", 120 pounds, but you can move. And you love the game of football.
Just quick on your feet, huh?
But you're just too undersized for a game where 250-pound linebackers are breaking your bones. You know, this is a good option for those people. And it's another thing, America can get golden every single time that we play. And
Sorry about it.
I mean, we are.
Yeah.
I mean, we got guys that change levels and fucking... I saw Brett Favre throwing picks in the
But you would also have to think, like, the Aussie football, they have some athletes in rugby.
Same rugby boy.
Well, no, but they're how quick they are. Because we've had a couple
They
of
are
rugby
quick.
guys come over to the NFL, and they've been fast as shit.
Mhm.
And I think that would translate really well over to flag football.
Yeah? I mean, they got guys that, like, dip their hips. Like, change levels.
Yeah,
How the flag goes and shit.
right. To kind of, like, get it away from people's hands.
Yeah, there's some, like, serious leagues.
Well, I think, was it before the Pro Bowl started? No, was it the Pro Bowl or the Super Bowl? Before the Super Bowl, they had the women's flag football championship game. And I just caught, like, basically the tail end of it, like, the last couple minutes. And I was like, I could watch this. This is fucking, like, it's
That's
not a
fun to
high quality football, but at the same time, it's like a shorter field.
It's a different sport, basically.
Basically, because you have to be more agile. It's like you have to be quicker. Just everything about it. There's not 22 people on the field. I think it's like 7-on-7 basically, where it's like good luck, go out there and try to take somebody's flag. But I'm all for it. I think growing the sport, like the way they intend to, I think that'd be a very, very good start because then you bring this worldwide, this glorious sport that we love to call football. Okay, not like football, like soccer over there, but we get to show them what our game is about, and I think that'll only helping. If they do the flag football option, which I think they should look into. Well, I guess 2028, that is 6 years away. They have plenty of time. At first, I was like, that might be too soon.
No.
But that's definitely not too soon. 6 years to train. Oh, yeah. They'll figure it out. I'm sure the Olympic Committee will be like, I don't know about this.
I could see, like, no NFL guys being in it.
No, I wouldn't either. Like, because like the NHL.
Maybe former NFL guys? T.O.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, T.O. He said he could still run a 4.4.
I bet.
That's ridiculous.
He'd be good at playing football.
He would be very good.
Chuck it to him. Brett Favre.
Just go along. Throw it up.
He's been playing
Brett Favre and Jerry Rice out there. Son!
And Wranglers, too.
Yeah, it would be too. With the copper fit arm sleeves. You know, I used to be so
The USA!
40-year-olds, 50-year-olds out there, just whooping some 20-year-old's ass. Gotta be better than that. Brett Favre.
Especially if they were wearing Wranglers, dude. Oh my. Or is it Levi's or Wranglers? No, he's Wranglers.
He's a Wrangler guy.
He's a Wrangler.
Yeah.
Rough and tough. Ain't
They're
got
both copper fit, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm excited for it. I think flag football would be very, very interesting to watch.
Oh, yeah.
And to see how they do it. And I think they've added multiple sports throughout the years in the Olympics, so why not try to add this and grow the sport? I think that would be awesome. But moving forward.
Yeah, you got underwater basketball.
Yeah, what the hell?
Put flag football in there.
Yeah, put flag. If you, jeez Louise, underwater basket weaving. Oh my God. Who cares? You know, like, I don't care how long you can do that. Hold your breath for. It's impressive, but you don't get a gold medal. It's not like you get a gold star for doing it. Like, oh, good for you. But hey, well, who am I to say that it's not cool? But moving forward, this is a little interesting little tidbit that I seen on the old Twitter. I thought I would bring it to John's attention and my attention. So, there's a picture in front of us. We have some young studs, some young superstars in the National Football League. Some are currently in college or are going to be drafted this season. But it said, pick 2 young stars to build your defense around. If you had to pick 2 young stars, obviously these are just a few. There's Patrick Surtain, Micah Parsons, Ahmad Sauce Gardner, Trevon Diggs, Kayvon Thibodeau, AJ Terrell, Chase Young, and it says others. So, who would you pick?
Chase Young and probably Patrick Surtain out of those ones.
Really?
Yep.
Why would you pick those 2?
I think that they're gonna have the most longevity and the most solid play be consistently a threat on that defense.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Surprised it only said there's defense here. Oh yeah, it does say, yeah, that's what it said. Build around your defense, or build your defense around. You know, I'd go Micah Parsons, just because he's a different animal out there. I mean, he's flying around, he's making plays left and right. He never quits until the whistle's blown. It just, what I seen last year, it really opened my eyes to wow, okay, he's gonna be good. I just hope he stays healthy, which I'm assuming he will because he's just a freak of nature. Mm-hmm. So I probably have to go with him. Chase Young is, I'm going to have to go with Chase Young on that one.
Yeah.
Because he's just a freak. He's so good. They call him the Predator for a reason.
He's a beast. He's a fucking beast.
He instantly made an impact on that Washington team. They went to the fucking playoffs.
Yeah.
That is just unreal what he's able to do. The rest of them, are still good. I almost chose Ahmad Sauce Gardner just because when I seen, from what I've been hearing and what I've been kind of seeing or whatever, is that his gameplay is top tier, next level type stuff. And
yeah,
I think he's going to be really good in the National Football League. But if he goes to the Jets, good luck, pal. Good luck. But you got Bob Sowell over there, and I think it's the Jets. But, yeah. I think, Micah Parsons, Chase Young. You said Patrick Surtain, who had a pretty solid season last year.
I think he's going to be a good...
His dad played in the NFL, too, so that helps.
Yes. Yeah, I think he's going to be a guy.
Yeah, I think Denver got a good one there. Maybe they'll add another one. You never know. That'd be kind of cool to see if they...
Well, if they got Sauce.
Oh, fuck. They don't need that. They got Russell Wilson.
Yeah, he's on offense.
Yeah, but what else do they need?
Backers.
Yeah, they do need linebackers. Bradley Chubb.
And he's good.
He's pretty good, but I think he's more of a TJ Watt, a edge rusher, but he's a linebacker, but he edge rushes quite a bit. Yeah, so, hey, that is all we got for you guys today. It's just a Friday, not too much happening around the league. Absolutely nothing happened today. What?
Enjoy the weather.
Enjoy the weather. It's beautiful outside. Might have to have a fire. Maybe tomorrow night. Maybe tonight. I don't know. We'll see about tonight. Maybe tomorrow night though, for sure. I mean, it is fucking gorgeous out there. But we'll be back here on Monday at 6 p.m. Central Time, like always. Thank you so much for watching, whether that's on Facebook or YouTube. Once again, if you're on Facebook, hit the like, hit the share. If you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe. It'd be much, much appreciated. So with that being said, have a great rest of your day. He said, enjoy the weather. Okay, we'll see you Monday. And you just got your fix with the Wicks. Deuces, folks.